Hello again, YouTube. It's Renegade Jixer once again to bug the crap out of you. So, last night, oh my Buddha, it was bad. I want to say that I was a hero last night, in my opinion of a hero. I was driving north on the road up here, 31W, but just 31W, but way up north. I don't know, this car was just driving so crazy. I was actually in my truck. I would have videotaped the whole thing, which would have been awesome. But anyway, I was in my truck with my buddy, heading up to Louisville. And, well, I kind of noticed this guy was like all over the lane. He was going over the shoulder. So at first, I thought he was texting and driving, So I got in front of him and went kind of slow to see how he would react. But he stayed with me. He didn't act like he was trying to get around me. There was no cars on the left lane. Because I was in, it's like it wasn't here, but I was in that lane. And, well, so I was like, that's kind of odd for a texting and driver, but I guess he's just using me as a buffer so you can leave the thumb or whatever. So, I stopped at a red light, jumped out of my truck. I like, hey, dude, get off your effing phone. You're going to kill somebody swerving like you are, yada, yada, yada. Well, when I started to yell at him, I noticed that it really didn't faze him none, and that, well, he looked drunk. He looked drunk as a skunk, his head was drooping, as he's like trying to focus on staying awake and everything like that. There's two types of times, I can't talk. There's two different kinds of, head drooping in my opinion. There's a drunk head droop and I'm very, very tired head droop. But they look different to me. Because one's more jerkety. But the other one's just like gradually like, oh, I'm up. But drunk, you're like, Anyway, you can't see my head jerking. I bet these people behind me, well, there's nobody behind me, so I guess nobody thinks I'm an idiot. Anyway, I guess they think I'm an idiot when I'm lip syncing too. But anyway, so I was like, man, this dude's drunk, dude. When I got back in my truck, the light turned green, took off. And while the light was still red, I dialed 911 because, let's face it, somebody had to take care of it. So I called 911. I was like, sir, what's your emergency? I let them know the whole thing. He's like, man, look, y'all get some out here right now. This guy's all over the road, and I fear, he's going to kill somebody. It's going to happen. There's no if or maybes. He's going to run off the road and either strike a pedestrian or hit a pole, hit a ditch, kill himself. You gotta get this guy off the road. Well, Louisville cops are kind of spread out because Louisville's a pretty big area, which everybody always makes fun of me the way I say Louisville, but that's how Kentucky people do it. Anyway, yeah, so I was like thinking, I was like, man, I hope I can see him. After about 10 minutes of being in front of the guy, I didn't want to be behind him. I want to, I wanted to be more reactive or proactive than reactive. If I see someone outside of the road walking, just flash my lights really fast, blow up my horn, let them know you might want to move. Because, well, at least try to warn somebody or anything like that. Or, if it came down to it and I noticed that he was like about to swerve, okay, let's say like the way his car was is like he was here and his car was over there too. It was in the shoulder. He was driving back and forth between the two like he was changing lanes apparently. But if I'm in front of him and I notice like there's like a group of people coming up, I have a big car. I have an F-150 truck. It's a pretty big truck, and well, if I notice there's like a big group of people coming, I'm gonna slam my brakes on it. I'm gonna stop this guy from trying to kill them. Yeah, I might get slightly injured, but he was like in this little Volvo type Billy. So I thought, I might be able to stop him a little bit to keep him from hurting somebody. But before that could come to fruition, we was in the right-hand lane like I am right now. Well, it's in the right-hand lane, and I noticed that, he turned his turning signal on, which is hilarious for a drunk guy. You know, you're drunk as hell, swerving in between lanes, everything like that, but hey, you gotta use your turning signal. So, I thought it was humorous. Well, I'm still on the phone with 911 at the time, and I was like, ma'am, he just turned on his, it was a lady, I don't forget her name. I was like, ma'am, you know, he just turned on his turning signal. He's about to turn on the side road. You know, I gotta stop this guy. I have to keep him from getting onto another road or onto a back road that he's gonna crash in someone's house, crash into somebody that's walking, that it's like on the road walking, something. I've got to get him going, dude. I have to stop him at this point, ma'am. And she was begging me. She's like, no, please, sir, don't do that. Don't do that. It's very dangerous. Don't do it. Like, look, ma'am, I'm a pretty big boy, and I understand you're watching out for me, and I appreciate that. But if I was to let this guy go, and I find out later that he killed an innocent person because of his stupid decisions and the fact that I let it slide, I could never live with myself. I can never live with myself with that. So, ma'am, I apologize, but at this point, I'm getting off the phone. Here's my cross streets. You need to get somebody here now, because I'm gonna have to get him out of his car. Well, I walk up to the guy's window and tap on the window, because I'm sitting there for like 5 minutes, and he ain't trying to go around me or nothing. So, okay, this dude's gonna stay. We're good. This dude's gonna stay here. He's good. Well, as I'm walking up, as I'm getting out of the truck, my buddy with me, you know, like I said, was having a little, my buddy was with me, and I was carrying this long baton. It's about that big, although you don't know how big it is, but it's a pretty big baton. It's like 2.5 feet big, one of those old type batons cops used to carry, but the ones with just like the single thing, not with like add a little dilly dad on the side. I got it for, you know, I got it for checking tire pressure, which you hit the tire, you hear what it sounds like, and you can tell how much air is in it. I guess I use it for defensive purposes, but that's my own opinion. So, you know, I grabbed that and I started, and granted, it's so long, you can't just put it in your back pocket, so I had to put it, you know, down the back of my pants. You know, so I don't want him to see it, because I don't want to come out, you know, banishing, whatever the fuck that word is. Somebody tell me what that word is in the comment section, please. But I didn't want him to see me getting out of my car, you know, with a weapon in my hand, because, you know, this is Kentucky. This is the patron state of shooting crap. So, you know, he could be armed. I don't know. So I throw him back in my pants. As I'm getting out, my buddy's like, dude, what are you doing? Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm like, dude, shut the F up. I gotta take care of this guy. I gotta stop him. Stay on the phone 911 in case something happens, but just watch. I should have told him to videotape the whole thing because it would have been hilarious. But anyway, now so I got in my car, and I wasn't acting aggressive. I was not acting aggressively at all towards this guy, because at this point, before when I got in my car and yelled at him, I didn't know that the reason why he was doing that was because he was skunk drunk. So, you know, so I walk up to the guy's window, knock on the window, and he's pulling at his window, trying to get it down. I guess it was off track or something, but he opens the door halfway, tries to pull it down, it finally drops, and goes all the way through his fucking door. Well, no, like, it didn't like break or nothing, but it went through the door, like in the plate, just not on track, like, it just went, whoop, dropped. Anyway, I explained that a little bit too much. But anyway, he finally got his window down. So, hey man, what's going on, dude? You all right, buddy? You okay? Tell me, why don't you come out here and talk to me, and let's see what's going on, buddy. I'm just looking out for you, man. I'm worried about you, dude. You're all over the road, man. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with you, buddy. Well, I really couldn't understand 2 words this guy says. He's like, and I look in his passenger seat. Yeah, I'm still looking in his car for weapons at this point, just in case. Like I said, it's Kentucky. Well, I noticed that he had a 5th of vodka sitting in his passenger seat that was half gone, just sitting there. And this was like at 10:30 at night, so you know he could have just picked that up, you know, and been drinking on it. Well, the car that was sitting behind him, granted, right now my truck is still in front of his, and he can't go forward. Well, the car behind him, you know, backs up and goes around us. I suppose he had the same idea. I was watching, you know, the traffic behind me too, make sure I wouldn't get hit. But so I'm watching, you know, traffic, but I'm watching him at the same time. And man, I noticed that, you know, he puts his car in reverse. And as soon as I saw him put his car in reverse, I noticed the car moved. I don't know how fast it moved, but it was like a fraction of a second between that car moving and I jumped into his front window, his driver's side window. I jumped in it and like started, like, basically just like my calves are sticking out of this car at this point. I'm just like, and he's still going in reverse. And I finally was able to, you know, wrestle the car and drive. I guess the guy like park. I was finally able to wrestle the car and park. I guess after I jumped in, he noticed I was in the car. Granted, he's drunk, so slow reaction time. Well, I guess once he finally realized I was in the car, he hit his brakes because I was able to put it in park fairly easily. I mean, it took a little work. And I finally got the car in park, you know, yanked these keys out. I'm like, dude, you're not going nowhere. And there's people on the side of the road watching this whole thing at a bus stop. And so it was at a big, it was like a big boys right there. Well, I noticed they had their big boy uniforms on anyway, so I guess they just got off work. Well, I tossed in the keys and I'm like, hey, hold these. This dude's drunk. He can't drive anywhere. He's going to kill somebody. You know? And this guy was so drunk, even though I took the keys and me and him fought over him for a second, he was still trying to start his car. Like, he reached for the ignition, tried to start his car, and then he looked down again, what's going on, and then try to start it again. I guess he was just like fully done. Time Warner got pulled over. So it was just like, that's for my Wi-Fi bill. So, you know, the cop finally showed up. There was actually a cop on the outside of the road, and there was a stoplight, and we was like waving, screaming. There was like 3 of us on the side of the road. Well, I was on the side of the road. The other people were like on the sidewalk, and we're all waving and screaming. The cop just, light turns green, cop just goes. I was like, how do you not notice somebody waving and screaming? You're a cop. Isn't it your job to like pay attention to everything? I mean, I do when I ride, when I drive, when I walk. I got the whole, everything in front of me in prospect, and, well, everything in front of me. I know where everything's at, basically, you know. Roughly when I'm driving and riding, I'll notice the speed of the cars in front of me, about 3 cars ahead and 2 or 3 cars back. And just keep watching their positions, watch positions. I mean, I'm just a paranoid rider. It's a good habit. But then, you know, checking all intersections, definitely a big one. But the cop just passes. I was like, okay, what the fuck? Well, whatever. I guess that cop just sucks at his job. He must be late to a donut shop. I'm just kidding. You know, the police officers have a hard job enough as it is. Yeah, there's some crooked ones out there. I will not deny that, but, and I got a couple buddies that are cops, you know. But anyway, but that was gonna give me a ticket as I'm talking about them. I was just praising you on YouTube. Anyway, okay, he's not turning around. Good. Well, he might be. I don't care though. That truck's going the same speed I was. Anyway, well, there was another cop going this way at the intersection instead of coming towards us, and I finally, you know, I was waving and screaming, and I was just like, I looked at the girl standing over there at the bus stop. I was like, run to the intersection and flag him down. You have to stop this guy, because it's looking like this guy's about to get violent. You know, he's starting to get mad. Once again, can't understand a word he's saying, so he's mumbling angrily. We'll call it that. And so, you know, we finally freaking get the cop to come over there after waving for like, seemed like 2 years. Exaggeration, of course. But finally got the cop over there, dude, and he's like, man, what's going on? I guess he didn't get the call on the radio. I think he like just got off shift, so his radio wasn't even on. I guess I don't know how cops work, so I'm just taking speculations at this point. Because he didn't know what's going on. I was like, look, man, this guy's driving all over the road, dude. He's so drunk he can't even talk. I've already grabbed the keys from him and I threw them to the ladies over there, and they took them to the manager of the big boy in there. So that's where his keys are, in case you need to know that. That's where his keys are. And he's like, all right. I was like, man, you need anything from me? He's like, well, does 911 have all your, caller information and stuff like that, where they can call you back? I was like, yes, sir, they do. He's like, no, man, you're good at this point. Go ahead and take off. When we need you, we'll call you. There's no sense you be staying here at the scene, because you might just aggravate this gentleman even more. So you can go ahead and take off. Man, shit, I need gas badly. Yeah, my fuel light stays on, so I do about miles, so, and I'm about empty. I probably got another like 10 miles maybe, if that. Also run out of gas during this vlog, that'd be hilarious. Anyway, he's like, I don't want the gentleman getting even more upset, so I just want you to go ahead and leave, and as soon as we get everything squared away, we'll call you and get your statement. I was like, cool. Well, cop calls me like an hour later. He was like, hey, this is Sergeant whatever, I forgot his name. I just want to let you know that, we now have the suspect in custody. I guess they have to call them suspects so they get convicted, which, of course he's going to get convicted. He's like, we've already got him in custody. We're good. I just want to let you know what happened. He's like, I'm going to be honest with you, dude. That was some real dangerous Rambo shit you did right there. That was very dangerous, but honestly, if I was in your situation, and even if I wasn't a cop, I would have done the same thing. I would have wrestled the keys from him and everything like that. So, I want to say thank you for doing that, because this was actually his third DUI. And it was his third DUI, and the guy was so drunk. The guy was so drunk, he couldn't even stand for the field sobriety test. He's like, we could not perform one because he could not stand up on his own without support. He was probably 4 or 5 times the legal limit. And then we had to carry him to an ambulance. I guess when you can't do the field sobriety test or the breathalyzer, they have to take you to the hospital with for the blood test. Because you can refuse, field sobriety test, and you can refuse. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm just saying what I've heard. So don't, well, Renegade Jixer said that I could do this, and that's bullshit. Not a lawyer, motorcycle rider, IT guy. You want advice on computers, you talk to me. Law, somebody else. Anyway. So the cop was like, we had to physically carry him. Me and 2 other officers had to physically carry him to the ambulance because he was unable to walk on his own. I honestly, and he was like, more than likely, he might even have alcohol poisoning, as destroyed he is right now. He said some technical term, but I wasn't paying attention. My adrenaline is pumping so much that I was like literally shaking, like a leaf, just shaking. Not like fear, but like, you know how it is right before you get into a fight, your whole body starts to shake and the adrenaline starts pumping, and then, you start whooping ass. Well, that's at least how I do it. Anyway, he was like, man, I look, dude, like I said, man, that was some real Rambo stuff you did. I hate the fact that you had to put yourself in that situation due to his, lack of better judgment, but I'm really glad you did. I don't know if I can say that on an official level, but as man to man, I appreciate what he did, because you probably either saved his life or no telling how many other people's lives from getting him off the road. And then he asked me, you know, some of my in-depth information, you know, social, birth, residence, all that other stuff. I was like, no, that's fine. I gave it all to him. He's like, well, just letting you know, more than likely he's going to plead guilty, but since due to the fact we couldn't give him a field sobriety test, his lawyer might try to get him to plead not guilty, see if he can get out of it. If so, I was wondering, will you be able and willing to, give testimony at his trial? I was like, absolutely. I will be there with bells on. I will do anything you want, because if I can keep this guy off the road, I don't care what I have to do, because he was going to kill somebody, man. He honestly was, and he kept like reaching for stuff too. So I had my knife in my pocket. Now baton, but knife is a little better at close quarters. But he kept like reaching for stuff. So I had my knife like like almost in my hand, like it was like out of my pocket, just halfway out. That's how I do when I feel like a violent situation is going to happen. I have to defend myself. I'll pull like a quarter of my knife out or half my knife out, just for easy accessibility. Accessibility? Yeah, that's right. But anyway, what was I going with this? Anyway, he kept reaching, grabbing for that. I was afraid he was going to grab a pistol. I honestly was. I was definitely afraid he was going to try to reach and get a pistol out of his pocket. And that being the case, I hate I'm not the violent type. I don't like being the violent type. But it would have came down to, if he would have pulled a knife out, I would have stabbed him in the neck. That'd be the only thing I could do, is stab that dude in the neck. Granted, yeah, I would probably go to jail, but I could probably get it due to the situation, get it in self-defense. Granted, I put myself in that situation, but I could probably still get it down to self-defense and get dismissed, but I didn't care. I cared about me getting shot and if this dude deserves to shoot me or not. But just, no, you don't deserve to shoot me. You don't deserve to kill me. And I'm sorry. You make that mistake of deciding that my life is, well, if it's just him thinking that my life is more important than yours, well, if your life is more important than mine, you gotta go, bro. You gotta go. Punch your clock, buddy, you're done. I'm the type of guy, my dad said there's only, there's three things in this world you fight for: your family, the people you love, and for yourself. And if anyone ever tries to put any of those in jeopardy at any point, you gotta do what you gotta do. You have to end them, because you're more important in this world than some lowlife that decided to make a stupid decision, and that he was going to take someone's life because he made a poor choice in this world. So do what you got to do. Now I don't fight. Granted, I don't enjoy fighting, but I'm also not the guy that's going to back down from a fight. If I can walk away from it, I'll walk away from it. I got to turn around and get gas, dude. I'm going to run out while I'm talking to you guys. If I can avoid a fight, I'll avoid the fight. But if you back me in the corner, dude, I'm like a wild animal. That is so gay sounding, but honestly, it's the truth. I'm a wild animal. I'm gonna come out swinging. I may win the fight, I may not, but by God, you gonna know you was in one all day long. You gonna know you was in one. Like I say, you probably whooped my ass, but hey, you ain't coming around unscathed, man. It's gonna happen. Which brings me to a point I'm gonna do on my next one. Today I almost shot somebody. Yay! Sending these people to school. But anyway, the guy is safely locked behind bars. Hopefully not going to get behind the wheel of a car anytime sooner. Anytime soon. That's better term. That's better grammatical usage, I guess, or however you say that. Dude, I honestly, I hope he pleads not guilty, because I'm gonna ream him so hard in court. Okay, that's sounding gay, but it's the truth. I'm gonna tear him down. I'm gonna tell him exactly how it is. I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. But apparently in Kentucky, you can have your fourth DUI is the felony, which I think is fucking stupid. I think it should be a felony at your second one, because you're dumb enough to do it once. I mean, granted, yeah, some people get felonies. Yeah, I guess. Some people get DUIs after having like a beer. I guess it can happen like that. You know, a beer, you can get a DUI if you're a little bit of ponds in mine. But so apparently my alarm is going off in my pocket, telling me it's time to wake up. I wasn't able to sleep last night because, you know, due to the adrenaline I had pumping through my veins. That, and, you know, hanging out with my buddies all night, having a good time, stuff like that. Went to a bar and it was great. But so I should honestly be asleep right now, but I decided to ride and make this video. I've been waiting for the get a little bit more, little sunnier, and a little later in the morning. And this guy at the pump thinks I'm fucking retarded. This guy's talking to himself. So hopefully here soon I will give you an update on how long this guy's got and if I have to go to court or not. So wish me luck, guys. You know, as always, keep at least one pile of rubber on the ground at all times. Be safe out there and ride true. Alright, guys? Y'all take care of yourselves. I'll talk to you again. Alright, bye.